Every year, around 200 million people tune into the Eurovision Song Contest, so chances are you know what it is. But just in case you don't, the best way to describe it is... It's, how to put it in words? Interesting. It is definitely interesting. The show is so absurd that it was only a matter of time before Will Ferrell made a film about it. That film is available right now, it's on Netflix, and for those that are a bit gutted that Eurovision was cancelled this year, fear not, because Eurovision Song Contest, the Story of Fire Saga, it gives us more than enough Europop to quench that thirst. Co-written by the self-confessed Eurovision fan Will Ferrell, the movie sees him and Rachel McAdams as two eccentric Icelandic singers who have always dreamt of competing in the popular TV show. The problem is, nobody takes them seriously.
He looked me into the eyes and said, "I am ashamed of you."
Maybe he was drunk.
He said, "And you might think that I am drunk, but I am dead sober."
Idiot.
Lucky for them, dark circumstances that surround their competition mean that they, well, no longer have any competition. So they are able to represent Iceland. Way!
I hate them.
Absolutely terrible. They're old, disgusting people. But we have no choice.
So we're in. Yep.
This comedy supporting cast, it includes American pop singer Demi Lovato, multiple real-life Eurovision singers. Seriously, looking out for those cameos is a lot of fun. There's TV personality Graham Norton as himself, and Dan Stevens, who plays the pair's nemesis, the Russian performer Alexander Lemtov.
No, you're not.
Stevens was fantastic in this, quite often stealing the show. Because his character's humour was very different to the lead's humour, it was a breath of fresh air whenever he was on the screen. And with the film having a running time of over 2 hours, which is probably too long for this kind of film, well, with characters like him, it just helped the movie flow that little bit better.
Stop laughing, I'm trying to fight you!
Although this is technically a non-spoiler review, plot-wise, to be honest, there's not that much I could spoil. You know exactly where this film is going, but don't get me wrong, that's actually part of its charm. A goofy, easy to follow movie that is exactly what I needed right now, especially with all the madness that's kind of happening around the world. Now, with Eurovision not happening this year for obvious reasons, that means no Eurovision parties. Yep, they're a thing. Fear not, you can still have your Eurovision party because those upbeat chart toppers, they feature heavily throughout this movie. Seriously, the soundtrack is really good, so much better than I actually expected. In fact, I was listening to the soundtrack whilst making notes for this review. And there's one scene in particular as well, music-wise, that stands out. All I'm going to say is if you like the Pitch Perfect films, you're going to love this particular scene. And whilst we're on the subject of the music, I don't know how much of it is auto-tune, but Rachel McAdams, she sounds amazing in this. I have seen some real mixed opinions on this film. Some saying they thought it was amazing, laugh out loud, with others saying it's one of the worst, cringiest films they've ever seen. I get it, I can see both sides. If you're not a fan of Eurovision or Will Ferrell, there is pretty much nothing here that's going to win you over. It won't be your cup of tea. For me, however, I quite enjoy Eurovision. I'm a big fan of Will Ferrell. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, it was predictable. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but do you know what? It doesn't try to. It knows exactly what it is. I had a lot of fun with it. I give it 3.5 out of 5, which is a recommendation. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. And whilst you're there, if you could hit subscribe, click the like button, the bell. It helps a small channel like mine slowly grow into a bigger channel. It means a lot. I bloody love you. I'll see you next time.